One of the things that I see a lot is overly restrictive retargeting campaigns. And there's a lot in the area of over restriction. One of the things I see initially is when someone just starts to retarget, I've seen be overly restrictive. My first piece of advice is actually to start off broad. First, your goal is just to get into retargeting and see how big your audience is. And then you can start to layer in qualifying filters to restrict it. The way that you know how and when to do that is by watching frequency. Frequency is the average number of ads in a specific campaign that a prospect sees in a given amount of time. If the frequency is really high because your audience is so low, then you'll need a lot of creatives added in there. If your frequency is really low, that probably means that your audience is too big and your budget's too small. So you're not actually properly saturating that group. When you see that happening, that's the perfect time to implement these additional filters to condense your audience so that you can better saturate it. The one other thing I would say, I see people get too crazy with the exclusions. One thing I see even the most mature marketers do is they tend to have this massive exclusion where they're excluding a bunch of job titles, a bunch of job functions, a ton of companies, a bunch of industries. The one thing I've come to realize is that it's way better to focus on your targeting versus build out this massive exclusion. The reason being that the way LinkedIn buckets these things, if you say, I want to exclude marketing managers, it's not just excluding people with the exact title marketing managers. Marketing managers is like a bucket of titles that might actually include head of marketing, VP of marketing. Overly building a list of excluded job titles actually will start cutting out very relevant titles you want.